Okay, let's just admit it. Trying to keep up with AI right now feels like you're trying to drink from a fire hose, doesn't it? I mean, new tools are dropping every single day, everybody on social media is suddenly an expert, and the more you try to learn, the more you just end up feeling lost. But what if I told you the problem isn't the technology? It's all the noise surrounding it. So let's cut through that noise together and find a clear path forward.
And that quote, it just nails it. This is the absolute heart of the issue. If you're feeling like you're failing with AI, it's not because you lack information, it's because you are drowning in it. We're all suffering from a serious case of information indigestion, not starvation. Having too many options is literally paralyzing our ability to just do anything.
So how do we fix this? Well, we've got a simple 5-step roadmap. First, we're going to escape the AI noise. Then, we'll get strategic and choose our toolkit. After that, we'll learn to prompt like an absolute pro, build a learning rhythm that actually sticks, and finally, and this is the big one, we'll make that crucial mindset shift from a doer to a director.
Now, this right here captures the very first hurdle that so many of us stumble over. I like to call it the squirrel mentality. You know what I'm talking about? You're constantly chasing the next shiny AI tool, you've got a million bookmarks, a folder full of tutorials, but you never actually do anything with them. The pro, on the other hand, they say no to almost everything. They pick one tool and they go a mile deep. And that, right there, is the first big shift we need to make.
Which brings us perfectly into stage 1, choosing your toolkit. This is where we stop being passive collectors and start being active builders. It's time to stop hoarding and start getting results.
The trick here is to be really systematic. So first, just audit your day. What are the tasks that are just draining your energy, sucking the life out of you? Write them down. Then, pick a bucket of work, let's say it's copywriting, and find just 2 and only 2 AI tools that could help. Give them a spin, see which one feels more natural to you, and then, and this is the most important part, you commit. You use only that one tool for 7 straight days. No cheating.
Okay, the final step is to actually make this a real habit. And we're going to do that with a little trick called habit stacking. It's super simple. Just find something you already do every single day, no matter what, like your morning coffee or reading a chapter of a book. Then you just stack your new AI habit right on top. So for example, right after you finish reading, you do 3 prompts every single day. And you know what? Before you even realize it, turning to AI will be totally second nature.
All right, so you've picked your tool, you've started building the habit. Now it's time for stage 2, prompting like a pro. You've got your instrument, now it's time to learn how to really make it sing.
And wow, this slide just perfectly shows the massive difference between an amateur and a pro. I mean, a beginner asks the AI, hey, what's the weather? A pro feeds it a 50-page board packet and tells it to act like a skeptical investor and pull out the 5 most critical questions for the CEO. That's not just saving a little time, that is creating a serious strategic advantage.
So how do you get results like that? It's actually a pretty simple 4-step process. First, you give the AI a role and have fun with it. Tell it to be an eccentric marketing genius. Second, you give it all the context, reports, data, your goals, everything. Third, give it a crystal clear command. And finally, tell it the exact format you want back. A numbered list, a spreadsheet, a block of code, be specific.
So let's make that real. Here's that board meeting example we talked about, all broken down. The role? A skeptical investor. The context? Here's the financial report. The command? Find the most critical questions. And the format? A numbered list. See how clean that is? That structure is how you get professional-level results every single time.
And now for my favorite part, the ultimate cheat code. Seriously, once you get an output from the AI that you absolutely love, ask it one more thing. Say, write the prompt that would have gotten me this exact result, but faster. The AI will literally teach you how to be a better prompter. It is an absolutely incredible learning loop.
Now, stage 3 is all about making this last. With AI changing at lightning speed, you can't just learn something once and be done. You have to build a learning rhythm, a system for staying ahead of the curve.
Here's a rhythm that really works. On a daily basis, just train your social media feed. Tell the algorithm you're interested in AI for your field. Weekly, set up a mastermind. It can be as simple as a Zoom lunch with other people who are also on the cutting edge. Monthly, re-audit your task list. I'm telling you, what AI can do changes dramatically every few months. And quarterly, try to get to an industry event that's focused on AI.
So, in those weekly mastermind groups, there is one key question that will cut through all the chatter and keep you ahead of the game. Any guesses what that might be? What do you think they're going to release in the next frontier model? Asking this one question immediately shifts the entire conversation from what's happening now to what is coming next. It forces you to think ahead, to anticipate changes, and to prepare for the future before it even gets here. This is how you stay on the bleeding edge. And all of that leads us right here to the final and, I think, the most important stage of all, the mindset shift. It's not enough to just use the tools. You have to fundamentally change how you see your own role. You have to become a director, not a doer.
So what's the difference? Well, the doer is totally focused on labor, just checking things off a to-do list, being busy for the sake of being busy. The director, though, focuses on leverage. They guide the vision and use AI as their team to execute the tasks. The whole goal is to automate the doing so you can focus your brain power on the high-level strategic thinking that actually moves the needle.
So what's left for us? What can't be automated? Well, it boils down to these three beautiful, irreplaceable human skills. Vision, the ability to see a future that doesn't exist yet. Taste, that refined judgment to know when something is not just done, but excellent. And care, or emotional intelligence, the ability to actually connect with other human beings. This is where we should all be focusing our energy.
And if you need a reason why this shift is so unbelievably urgent, look at this. In about 10 years, it's very likely that AI will be able to do 99% of what's on your to-do list right now. So the question isn't if your job is going to change, it's how you are going to direct that change.
And that brings us to the real opportunity here. This isn't about being replaced, it's about being repositioned. Think about it. Every major technological shift creates brand new roles and new economies. We need to see this not as a threat, but as a massive migration to a totally new way of working. It's kind of like the old gold rush analogy, right? The people who got truly wealthy weren't always the ones digging for gold. A lot of times, it was the people selling the picks and shovels. They were building the infrastructure for that new economy. That's the exact same opportunity that's in front of us right now with AI.
You know, Uber created an entirely new job category for people who had never driven a taxi in their life. The Industrial Revolution did the same thing on a massive scale. This AI transition is no different. So, the final question I want to leave you with is this. As this technology continues to evolve and reshape our world, what new role will you create?